Well, for a period of time in 2007 and 2008, scandals involving the quality of imported Chinese products dominated the news in the United States. Although the Made in China brand took a hit for many in America, the scandals have faded into memory. Consumers in China, however, have had to deal with a seemingly never-ending series of revelations. The food industry has been especially hard hit. Right after came the Olympics, came tainted milk, then fake eggs, and now comes word that a brand of popular rice may not be all that it claims to be. BUN's Matt Schrader has more.
To say that rice is a big deal here in China is an understatement. The country grows nearly 130 million tons of the stuff a year, 30 million tons more than any other country. The average Chinese person eats more than a half pound of it a day. So when word broke that a popular kind of rice sold across the country called Wuchang rice, seen here, may be largely fake, it sparked a media feeding frenzy. This video is from a report done by China Central Television, the main state broadcaster. In it, the journalist brings a hidden camera to a wholesale rice market in the city of Xi'an. The market is the largest staple wholesale market in the northwest of China. Every kind of rice imaginable is sold here. One kind that's especially popular is called Wuchang rice. It's grown in Wuchang County in the northeastern province of Heilongjiang. The rice is famous for its smell, and as such, it commands a healthy premium over normal, less fragrant rices. At markets nearby the BUN offices in Beijing, bags of Wuchang go for as much as double the price of other rice. But as this journalist found out, the Wuchang rice found on market shelves around the country may not be everything it seems to be. Carrying an undercover camera and posing as a buyer, the journalist got a look at the dirty underside of the rice business. Inside this company's warehouse, workers point out to him several bags of Wuchang rice stacked up against a mountain of bags of other kinds of rice. With so little Wuchang rice on hand, how could they possibly sell enough to make a profit? Turns out that the rice the company's packaging and selling as Wuchang is hardly Wuchang at all. Workers in the factory take a bag of this ordinary rice and then mix it with a tiny quantity of Wuchang rice. The final product is then packaged as Wuchang rice, ready to be shipped off and sold to unsuspecting consumers around the country. But since Wuchang is known for its hearty smell, won't they be able to tell the difference? Not a problem for this rice supplier. Before the rice is packaged, an artificial fragrance is sprayed on it. When the journalist smelled it, he said he got a nose full of rice fragrance. The case has caused an uproar. Part of the reason is that one of the suppliers interviewed by state TV said that although only 800,000 tons of real Wuchang rice are grown every year, over 10 million tons of rice is packaged and sold as Wuchang rice. For some people here in Beijing, it's just another thing for them to worry about on their dinner table.
Stuff like this makes me angry. This is the rice that we eat every day.
I'm definitely going to pay closer attention when I'm buying rice from Heilongjiang.
The case has got rice sellers on edge too. One rice stall in Shanghai, interviewed by a local TV station, had this to say when asked about the rice that they were selling as Wuchang rice.
Where's this rice from? Let me have a look at the bag.
No way! Geez, you're annoying.
Another shopkeeper in Shanghai had this to say about the quality of Wuchang rice.
I think this Wuchang rice isn't as authentic as it used to be, because it used to be long grains, really fragrant. Now you can't find that kind of rice anymore.
Local governments across the country have scrambled to react. Xi'an city government seized 60 tons of rice from 16 companies and shut those companies down pending quality inspection. In the city of Wuchang in Heilongjiang, the mayor ordered 6 companies shut down that TV reports indicated had been importing cheap rice from other areas of the country and then reselling it as genuine Wuchang rice. For his part, the mayor of Wuchang says the rice supply in his city is trustworthy.
We've undertaken an investigation of all the businesses in Wuchang that operate on the rice market. Up to this point, we haven't found anyone producing or selling fake rice, but we're going to keep looking. Any business we're unsure of will be shut down pending an audit, and we'll only let them back on the market once we're assured there's no problems.
Despite reports of fake Wuchang in Shanghai media, Shanghai city government says that their rice supply checks out as well.
The overwhelming majority of Wuchang rice in wholesale market warehouses in the city is actually from Wuchang. It's passed quality inspection, its place of production has been verified. we haven't discovered any of the problems reported in the media.
For their part, consumers and rice sellers here in Beijing think that as long as they stick with known brands and known suppliers, fake Wuchang rice shouldn't be a problem.
You really shouldn't go to little stores to get your rice. It's not a good idea.
It's not all rice, I think. As long as you go with the big brands, you should be okay.
The people in the wholesale markets here, they've got their own brands. They're absolutely going to make sure there's no problems with the quality. If someone spent 10 or 15 years building up a brand, do you think they're going to cheat you? No way.
As is often the case in China, the true extent of the problem remains unclear. It appears the government's regulation of food safety still has a long way to go. It's likely incidents like this will continue to pop up for the simple reason that there's so much money to be made with fake products.
Policies from above can only do so much. The people down below are always going to have their ways, especially when there's profit involved.
Matt Schrader, BON.
Makes you think, well, what you're actually eating, doesn't it, Ali?
Yeah, I guess rice being such an important staple,
quite.
Here in China. Now, one thing that was very revealing in that report was that the workers in those units that reporters looked into, they gave a very interesting indication of the thinking behind this. They actually didn't think they were doing anything wrong by adding this artificial fragrance to this rice. And as for those who, were the managers, the masterminds of this, for them there's very little incentive not to do this, because the punishments, if they're caught, up to now they've been very small, but the profits are huge in this business.
You're absolutely right. Wuchang rice sells at just up to $2 a kilo, while common rice sells for about a third of that. And the artificial scented rice yields a profit of 0.4 yuan, that's $0.7 per kilogram. So a huge margin, as you say, Ali, in the rice industry.
Yeah, and one of the men representing Wuchang in that said there were no problems with exports, but actually, between 3,000 and 5,000 tons of this rice gets sent to South Korea. Now, we don't know if that is, fake Wuchang rice, or if it's come under the same problem as what was mentioned in that report, but it could lead to diplomatic incident, huge business problems between South Korea and China, because South Korea needs a lot of rice too. It doesn't work just one way. A report in the Chongqing Economic Times reported on Sunday that actually a lot of Thai fragrant rice, another very famous brand of rice, in China is fake. One expert estimates that up to 90% of Thai fragrant rice in Chinese markets could be fake. That opens up a whole new can of worms.
It certainly does. Looking at that report, you have to admire almost the fraudsters' kind of initiative, that sort of actually spraying the scent on the rice so it even smells like the real thing.
Well,
extraordinary.
Up till now, they've been successful. We'll see how much longer that lasts.